You're not here by accident. You didn't just stumble onto this message. Something deep inside you has been searching, even if you haven't said it out loud. Maybe you felt stuck, like you're running in circles while life moves on without you. Maybe there's a quiet voice inside you asking for more peace, more meaning, more freedom. You've tried to ignore it, but it keeps getting louder. And now, here you are, watching this, listening, because you're ready. Even if part of you still doubts it. Most people wait for a perfect moment to change. But the truth is, there's no perfect moment. There's only now. Right now, your life is standing at a doorway. One step, one decision could shift everything. You're closer than you think. In this video, you'll find the truth you've been needing. Not some distant dream, but something real. Something you can start living today. Stay with me until the end. Your next chapter is waiting. And it's bigger than anything you're leaving behind. This is where it begins. Feeling stuck can sneak up quietly. One day, everything seems fine. Then slowly, routines start to feel heavy. The days blur together. Excitement fades. Goals that once lit a fire inside seem distant, almost unreal. There's a hollow space where passion used to live. Smiles feel forced. Conversations feel shallow. There's a weight in the chest that words can't explain. It's not about being ungrateful. It's not about failure. It's about something deeper inside that refuses to settle for less than what life could be. Signs of restlessness often show up in small moments. Staring out windows, lost in thought, waking up tired even after a full night's sleep, feeling busy but unfulfilled, like running on a treadmill that goes nowhere. Plans get made but rarely spark real joy. Even victories feel dull, like ticking off a box instead of celebrating something meaningful. When hobbies feel more like chores, when even rest doesn't bring peace, something inside is calling for change. Unfulfillment is the heart's quiet rebellion. It speaks through boredom, frustration, impatience. It asks silent questions. Is this it? Is there more? The search for meaning becomes louder than the need for comfort. Old goals lose their shine. Familiar habits start feeling like cages. Fear tries to keep things the same, but the longing for something better grows stronger every day. Often people try to silence these feelings. They stay busy, chasing distractions. They tell themselves it's just a phase, but deep down, a shift has already begun. The mind might resist, clinging to what's familiar, but the heart knows. Growth is calling. Change doesn't start with giant moves or dramatic exits. It begins with noticing. It begins with honoring that quiet unrest instead of pushing it away. That restless feeling is not a problem to fix. It's a signpost pointing to something new, something waiting just beyond the fear. Holding on to the old feels safer, but true life happens when the unknown is faced with open hands. That whisper inside grows into a roar when it's finally heard. The need for change is not weakness. It's a powerful signal that life is ready to shift into something greater. Change often feels overwhelming because the mind tricks itself into believing everything must shift all at once. Big dreams cast long shadows, making small beginnings seem pointless. That's a lie. Real transformation doesn't start with a grand announcement or a massive leap. It starts quietly, with one small decision repeated over and over again. One honest conversation. One early morning where the snooze button isn't touched. One tiny moment of courage that cracks the walls of fear. Small steps don't look impressive from the outside, but they are what strong foundations are built on. Waiting for perfect timing or a massive surge of motivation only delays growth. Motivation comes and goes like the weather. Discipline, born from tiny consistent actions, is what carries dreams across storms. Every great story started with a small, almost invisible choice. Choosing water over soda. Choosing to write one sentence instead of worrying about writing a book. Choosing to walk for 5 minutes instead of sitting in doubt. These choices look ordinary, but they shape an extraordinary life. Progress doesn't demand perfection. It demands presence, a willingness to keep showing up even when no one is watching, even when results aren't instant. Growth loves patience. Growth rewards those who honor their small wins instead of waiting for fireworks. Momentum isn't built by doing one big thing one time. Momentum is built by doing one small thing 1,000 times. Success hides in the habits that feel too simple to matter. Waking up slightly earlier, saying no when it's easier to say yes, taking one deep breath before reacting, shifting focus from what feels impossible to what feels possible today. Mastering small steps unlocks a power that rushing never could. Small steps lead to trust. Trust in the process. Trust in growth. Trust in self. Change becomes real not by force, but by steady, quiet persistence. Every tiny step forward is a silent promise that a new life is already taking shape. Mindset shapes everything long before actions do. It builds invisible walls or opens hidden doors. A fixed mindset whispers that abilities are set in stone, that failures define worth, that effort is wasted when success doesn't come quickly. It traps dreams inside small boxes and labels them unreachable. It clings to comfort because comfort feels safe, even when it costs freedom. Growth mindset speaks a different language. It says skills can be learned, strength can be built. Failure is not a dead end, but a stepping stone. Every mistake carries a lesson hidden inside. Believing in the possibility of change is the first crack in the armor of doubt. It doesn't demand knowing exactly how the change will happen. It just asks for enough courage to say, maybe it's possible. That small shift in thinking has the power to move mountains. Growth doesn't happen because life gets easier. Growth happens because belief grows stronger. Even the biggest breakthroughs start with choosing to think differently about what is possible. Those trapped in a fixed mindset often fear looking foolish, so they stop trying altogether. Growth mindset welcomes mistakes, like a teacher welcomes new students. Every setback becomes a chance to learn, adjust, and rise stronger. Growth mindset doesn't fear failure. It uses failure as fuel. Each attempt sharpens skill. Each risk strengthens resolve. Stumbling is not shameful. Staying stuck is. Change begins by questioning old stories told by fear. Stories like "I'm not good enough" or "it's too late for me" lose power when they're challenged with belief in growth. Words repeated in the mind shape the life that follows. Words like "I can learn," "I can adapt," "I can grow" plant seeds that bloom into transformation. No one is born ready. Readiness is built through trust and practice. True shift happens when excuses are replaced with action, when fear is replaced with curiosity. Growth mindset isn't about being fearless. It's about being willing. Willing to try, willing to fail, willing to get up again and again. That willingness lights a fire no fear can put out. Limiting beliefs often wear clever disguises. They sound like truth. They feel like fact. They echo inside the mind for so long that they start to feel normal. Thoughts like "I'm not smart enough," "I'm too old," "I'm too broken," "success is for other people, not me," sneak into the background of daily life. They shape choices without being noticed. They whisper doubt before a dream can even begin. They build invisible cages where fear grows stronger than hope. No one is born carrying these chains. They are picked up from past failures, careless words from others, early experiences that planted seeds of doubt. Over time, those seeds grew roots deep into the mind. But roots can be pulled, beliefs can be changed. Growth starts by shining light on these hidden thoughts. Awareness is the first act of freedom. Naming the belief steals its power. Saying "I notice I keep telling myself I'm not enough" breaks the cycle of silent control. Challenging these beliefs demands more than positive thinking. It requires evidence, proof that the old belief is a lie. Start small. List one success, even a tiny one, that proves the fear wrong. Gather every scrap of evidence that shows growth, strength, resilience. Build a case for the truth the way a lawyer builds a case in court. Over time, the weight of proof crushes the lies that kept dreams locked away. Replacing limiting beliefs means writing a new story, not a fantasy. A real story based on effort, perseverance, and possibility. Instead of "I can't," the new voice says, "I am learning how." Instead of "I always fail," the new voice says, "I am growing with every step." Words have power. Repeated often enough, they carve new paths in the mind, where courage can walk freely. The mind will resist at first. It will cling to old patterns because they feel familiar. That's not a sign to quit. It's a sign that real change is happening. Every time a limiting belief is challenged, a new door opens. Freedom is not found by waiting for fear to disappear. It's found by daring to walk through fear, carrying truth in both hands. Change without direction drifts like a boat, without a rut. Action without intention scatters energy and leaves people feeling tired, but not fulfilled. Intention acts like a compass. It points toward a destination even when the path feels unclear. Setting clear intentions means deciding, with full honesty, what matters most and what no longer deserves space. It means choosing a target and refusing to aimlessly fire hopes into the dark. Vague wishes like "I want to be happier" or "I want to be successful" sound good but create confusion. Clarity brings power. Goals need shape, weight, and detail. Happiness becomes clearer when defined as spend 10 minutes daily doing what feeds the soul. Success becomes stronger when measured as launch a project within 3 months or learn a new skill by the end of the year. Specifics cut through fog. They make progress visible and real. Small, achievable steps anchor big dreams. Instead of chasing 10 things at once, focus on 1 or 2 that light the fire inside. Write them down, speak them out loud, build plans around them. Clear intentions are not rigid cages. They are living promises, flexible enough to adapt, strong enough to endure setbacks. When doubt creeps in, intentions pull focus back to the truth of what matters. Intention also demands emotional connection. Goals set from pressure or comparison die quickly. Goals set from deep personal truth endure storms. Ask why a goal matters, not just what the goal is. A strong why builds unshakable motivation. When goals align with true values, even small steps feel meaningful. Hard days feel worth it. Nothing shifts by accident. Dreams do not build themselves. Setting clear intentions turns dreams into commitments. Commitment carves paths where none existed before. With every choice aligned to intention, momentum grows. Clarity replaces chaos. Focus replaces fear. Growth becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Each step forward becomes an act of faith in the life that is waiting just ahead. Comfort feels safe because it is familiar, not because it is where growth lives. Growth waits just beyond the edge of what feels easy. It calls quietly at first, tugging at routines, stirring restlessness. Ignoring that call might feel simpler in the short term, but the cost is heavy. Dreams shrink, confidence fades, life becomes smaller. Growth demands a different choice. It asks for courage to step into spaces where certainty disappears and old habits no longer protect. Discomfort is not the enemy. Discomfort is proof that limits are being stretched. Muscles only grow when pushed past what they already know. The same rule holds true for every dream, every goal, every deep transformation. Sitting in discomfort without running from it builds a kind of strength that easy days could never offer. Fear of failing, fear of looking foolish, fear of not being good enough, all of it rises when comfort zones are challenged. Facing those fears instead of running is how new confidence is born. Challenges that once felt impossible begin to shrink when faced head-on. Speaking up in a meeting, starting a new project, saying yes to an opportunity that feels too big. Every act of courage makes the next step easier. Each time discomfort is welcomed instead of feared, growth roots itself deeper. Growth doesn't promise to remove fear. Growth teaches that fear doesn't have the final say. Navigating discomfort begins with small steps. Stay in the conversation 1 minute longer. Apply for the opportunity even with shaking hands. Show up for the workout, the call, the class even when doubt screams the loudest. Discomfort is not a signal to stop. It is a signal to lean in. Every powerful story carries chapters filled with fear, confusion, and uncertainty. Those chapters are not failures. They are the price of becoming someone stronger, wiser, and freer. Choosing comfort leads to slow fading. Choosing growth leads to a life that feels fully alive. The difference lies in which discomfort is chosen. The discomfort of staying stuck, or the discomfort of rising beyond it. Growth lives in the second choice, always. Growth may begin as a personal decision, but it rarely survives alone. Voices shape the path forward, either building or breaking momentum. Being surrounded by doubt, negativity, or small thinking makes even the strongest dreams harder to hold on to. Energy is contagious. Spending time around people who believe in possibility, who push for more, who celebrate progress, can turn quiet hope into roaring certainty. No one climbs alone and stays at the top for long. Seeking support is not weakness, it is wisdom. Strong people know when to reach for steady hands. Building a network of encouragement creates safety nets for the inevitable falls, and mirrors for the moments when self-belief runs thin. Mentors, even distant ones, offer shortcuts through years of struggle. Their lessons light up paths that might otherwise stay hidden. Community fuels endurance. When setbacks hit, a single conversation with the right person can be enough to spark the next step forward. Choosing who to listen to shapes the future as much as choosing which goals to chase. Not everyone deserves a front row seat to grow. Some people cling to old versions of who others used to be. Some people fear change because it reminds them of their own stuck places. Protecting dreams sometimes means creating distance from voices that pull backward. That space makes room for new connections, the kind that feed strength, not drain it. Finding supportive communities may start small. One group, one mentor, one new friendship, built around shared purpose. Online spaces, local groups, classes, even books written by people who walked similar paths, can offer the encouragement needed to keep moving. A single voice, saying you can, at the right moment, can drown out a lifetime of doubt. Transformation is not just about inner strength. It is about building an environment where growth is nurtured, not attacked, where new beginnings are met with claps instead of criticism, where challenges are seen as steps, not stops. Growth loves company. It blooms faster in fields of encouragement, where every small win is celebrated and every setback is met with keep going. Choosing the right people is choosing the right future. Progress often hides in plain sight. Focus locked on the final goal can make the steps already taken feel invisible. The mind is quick to spot what's missing, what's imperfect, what's unfinished. Slowing down to celebrate small victories feels almost unnatural at first, but it is one of the most powerful habits for lasting growth. Every small step forward deserves to be seen. Every act of courage, every moment of discipline, every choice to keep going counts more than it seems. Celebrating progress is not about throwing parties for every tiny move. It's about pausing long enough to say, "This matters." It's about allowing the heart to feel proud before rushing off to chase the next milestone. Pride in progress builds momentum. It whispers to the mind, "You are capable," when old doubts try to shout louder. Recognizing small wins turns the journey itself into a source of energy instead of just a means to an end. Skipping over victories weakens motivation. Constantly chasing a finish line that keeps moving leads to burnout. Growth becomes sustainable when fueled by joy, not just by pressure. Every small achievement lays another brick in the foundation of a stronger self. What looks like a tiny step today may turn out to be the turning point when looking back later. Acknowledging progress also trains the mind to see proof of change. Even on the hardest days, when doubt clouds vision, there is always evidence of how far the journey has already traveled. Maybe it's showing up on a day when quitting seemed easier. Maybe it's speaking one truth that used to stay silent. Maybe it's trying again after falling. Each moment matters. Each moment deserves respect. Life changes not in one grand moment, but in a collection of small choices, honored and remembered. Celebration feeds commitment. Confidence grows not from arriving at a destination, but from realizing strength was built along the way. Progress is not just movement, It is transformation in motion. Noticing it keeps the fire alive. Through every storm and every sunrise ahead, the shift you have been waiting for is already beginning. It starts the moment you choose to listen to the quiet voice inside instead of the noise around you. Growth isn't something far away or locked behind perfect timing. It is here, right now, built through small steps, brave thoughts, and honest moments. Every time you honor your desire for more, every time you step forward even with shaking hands, you are already creating a new story. The life you want doesn't ask for perfection, it asks for commitment, it asks for faith that even the smallest effort is never wasted. Every part of you that dreams of something better is right. There is more waiting, and it starts with the choice to keep going even when doubt rises. If this message speaks to something inside you, if you feel even a small pull toward the next chapter of your life, take a moment to honor it. Keep this energy close, protect it, feed it, let it grow. If you found value in this video, if it lit a fire inside you even a little, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. There is so much more ahead, and we would love to walk this journey with you.